I think this is really, really fitting to start off a video. Special offer. Congratulations on reaching bronze. Your first steps towards ladder dominance, champ. Way to dunk on me, Hearthstone. Makes me feel real good as a player. So I don't know where this is gonna go into a video or when even. I'm trying to conjure up something spicy in duels, but I'm having difficulties getting certain treasures to cooperate. But in the meantime, I've got a bunch of achievements that I'm just going to click on before any patches go live. And I guess there's one I want to talk about because there is a broken achievement right now. Incapable of being completed, as far as I know. Oh, I'm close there. But yeah, the Warlock achievement for... I got a lot of stuff done, by the way. And I came to realize that the achievement for Immolate is currently not working. So I went to the known issues page on the Hearthstone forums, and sure enough, there's a lot of people saying, hey, my Immolate quest or achievement is not making progress. By the way, side note, this Front Lines one, actually, Big Paladin is really fun, or at least I've been having fun with it. What was seen as one of the worst cards in this set, like, feels really good when it pops off. Somehow it's been working for me. I don't think I've lost... I haven't played that many games with it yet, but I haven't lost a game with it yet. It's kind of absurd. But I had to clear some of these out. Thanks for the gold. Had to clear a bunch of these out because it was messing with me seeing all these and just knowing that I had to click on them and kind of not really getting confused, but a little confused as to what I still had left to do. But I just, you know... Also because I have missed out on experience by patches going live, even though I think I'm good for another, like, week and a half or so. I just wanted to clear out what I had done, because I had done a lot, up to 87%. Pretty close on a couple of these. A couple of these grinds are not going to take too much time. This one will. But yeah, I think this Light 'em Up is the only 3-step one that I still have left to finish. Other than that, I've gotten most of the experience here. It's just finishing up a couple stragglers here and there, and then whatever they're going to do with this. I really hope that they either keep this one available for experience after they fix it, because it sucks to be doing my final roundup and just not being able to progress this one. It worked at some point, because I have some steps done, but I've done, you know, incinerated a couple cards since then, and it's still stuck at 6. So I don't know what to do there. But yeah, overall not too bad, and like I said, I just had to clear some of these out, so on to whatever this video is going to be from here. Okay, so the last 2 games ended, like, real quick. I destroyed my opponent before I could find my Herald. Hoping that the 3rd time's a charm here. I don't even care about winning anymore. I just want to finish this last achievement. Kind of last one. Okay, sure. Well, there's the Herald achievement. Yeah. I just didn't find any of the stuff that I needed, but I can't win them all. At least I got there. Well, like I was saying, I completely destroyed my last 2 opponents, and just that one just kind of fizzled out. But I am as done as I can be with the Sunken City achievement set. They have not fixed the Immolate achievement, so it is not completable at the moment. At least I haven't tested it again. I feel like I would have seen some kind of patch notes. There was, I think they updated something in the game, but it was just like something that didn't even require a patch on mobile. But I finished up everything else. This Katori Late Blade one, I don't think I'm going to play the full clip, but probably just the turn here while I'm talking about this. I tried so hard to get this highlight reel moment, and I finally got it. And it was kind of lackluster. I was playing duels with anything with Paladin in it, and finally got a run going where I was given Khadgar's Scrying Orb, which makes your spells cost 1 less, and then just desperately tried to find Katoria Lightblade plus Holy Maki Roll, which then was free and repeatable that turn, meaning I was just off to the races, just spamming as many as I could. And, well, you're seeing footage of that turn right now. I counted, and from what I remember, I was only able to get like 32 or 33 casts in before the timer ran out. So I was a little bummed that I couldn't have a more spectacular, like, get this achievement done in one turn kind of turn. But it certainly helped with the grind. Still, though, I'm sure it looks impressive, albeit a little bit slow on the replay. But, as you just saw, I finished up the Herald's achievement, which is enough to get 50 gold, apparently. The last completable achievement at the moment, because, like I said, Immolate is still busted, but that is the complete set as far as we're concerned. So, unfortunately, we're not at another 100%. I think since I started the series, I've only had one set where I've shown 100% on screen. The other, Alterac Valley, while I finished every achievement that was available to me that gave reward track experience, I still have yet to complete the Mysteries Hidden in the Valley one. And it requires quite the time commitment that I just haven't had a chance to will myself to do yet. But I just figured, since we finished up this achievement set and we're looking ahead to Murder at Castle Nathria, I figured we'd do what we usually do and kind of look back on the achievement set as a whole, the goods, the bads, everything in between, and kind of just in general where I think achievements are headed in Hearthstone. So I just went back and I double-checked the amount of reward track experience available from the past couple sets, just to compare it with Sunken City, because I know I touched on this at the beginning of this set, but the overall experience points that are available to us through achievements has been trending downward. United in Stormwind, before any premium track bonuses or anything, you had a total of, with the mini set and those achievements, a total of 21,300 experience available to you, and that dropped by 500 in Alterac Valley to 20,800, and then dropped another 600 here to 20,200 by my count. So I think Alterac Valley, or I think Stormwind, was a tick upward because the Secrets achievement for the card back and everything actually did reward track experience, but the Alterac Valley one did not. So you're going to see a bit of a downward trend for that one for sure, but the fact that we saw yet another downward tick here is a little bit concerning, and I'm not really fond of the downward trend that achievement experience overall is afforded to us. Really hope that they at least don't decrease it any further for Castle Nathria, but it remains to be seen. We're still a couple weeks away from the patch, but yeah, I think this is the earliest that I've finished something, so I kind of wanted to talk about my thoughts overall, like I said, and I usually like to start with some of the good, some of the grinds that just weren't that bad. And as I was kind of peeking through these earlier, I came to the two least offensive ones, Summoning Naga and Dredging, two of the biggest updates to the game from this set. And the numbers, 300 and 200, were met really easily. With the Nagas, I never really played any super Naga-centric decks, just, in some decks, Slither Spear saw a lot of play. I guess I did play a bit of Demon Hunter towards the start of the set when that deck was super good. I mean, I guess Demon Hunter still is good, but just in a different way. But as you can see here, required to summon 300 total Naga to get the 3 steps done for this one. And I've summoned 832. But even more ridiculous is the main keyword of the set, Dredge. You're required to dredge only 200 times to get this achievement done. As you can see, 849 dredges. Super good keyword. Felt really good to do. Was very powerful. Saw play in like pretty much every class. Any deck that was any good had some dredge stuff going on for the most part. Even in Wild, we're seeing a lot of dredge cards seeing a lot of play. What with the reverted, nerfed, unnerfed Kael'thas, Druid was a complete mess with all of that. As well as Mech Paladin being really good with the 2/2 Dredger there as well, especially also with the Sunken card that Paladin got. So overall, these two are, I guess I would say they're about tied, except the Dredge requirement being only 200 and being just like far and away like the easiest achievement here. It's a grind. I think I mentioned in an earlier video that number could have been 500 and I still would have been okay with the achievement. But as far as like fun achievements that I enjoyed doing, another thing I'm a little disappointed with is that there weren't too many cool ones. Thinking back to previous sets again, especially like I think it was Alterac Valley had the spammy Arcanist one. That was a super fun one to figure out on my end, and I feel like all the other sets had their kind of fun ones, kind of more puzzle-based ones to solve, and this set didn't really. I guess if we scroll up to Druid, there was playing a bottom feeder with 10 or more attack. Probably the closest, I would say, to doing a puzzle-based one, because it requires you to build your deck a certain way to do a very particular thing. And when I did it, it wasn't just from replaying the bottom feeders. It was from buffing them with the Ajaran Gardens and Sunken Gardens. And the game where I actually got the achievement done, it was a really spectacular highlight that I was super glad to have been filming with. But the only other one that I remember fondly that I had fun with was if I can find it, Rock Paper Blade, countering a minion and a spell that cost 5 or more with Blade Master Okani. The minion one was no problem, but the spell one required some work. That was another highlight I was really proud of with my setup with all the Lothebs and the Cult Neophytes, and just praying to the high heavens that any opponent would play a spell into it. Because who'd be crazy enough to pick spell after playing all the Cult Neophytes and stuff? That one was a lot of fun as well. But other than that, they've pretty much defaulted to all the achievements being play X card X number of times. So now comes to talk about the worst grind, which is more of an overall problem, I think. In the Alterac Valley one, I talked about how the Pet Collector achievement was the most soul-crushing thing I had done for achievement hunting. Having to play that one card 151 times, I think, because Mew was a first-gen Pokemon. Playing Pet Collector 151 times almost broke me, even though I had an overall win percentage with the deck, higher than 50%, and actually significantly higher, I think. I just could not deal with that. So thankfully there's nothing that bad here. However, I will say that a lot of the overall numbers, I feel like were higher than they usually are. Just kind of looking around here at some of the ones we had to play a bunch. Green Thumb Gardener took a lot to do. Imagining that you get probably on average 6 mana every time you play her. That's what, 50 times you would have to play the card. As well as K9atron, 50 battle cries popping off as well, and with a condition that you actually find a 1-cost minion here. This one and the Rogue one for Gone Fishin' both require setup to manipulate the bottom of your deck, or just get lucky with the bottom of your deck in the case of K9atron. That these two grinds were really not fun. I eventually got to a point where I just built a deck in Hunter with K9atron, Brand Bronzebeard, and the rest of the deck being 1-drops. Just because like I was sick of just playing a normal deck and just hoping that there were 1-cost minions at the bottom. I eventually just had to guarantee it, just played out a bunch of games that I would concede basically as soon as I played my K9atron, or it was evident that I wasn't going to find my Bran or my other copy. I would just concede, and I didn't win a single game. Actually, no, that's a lie. I won one game, but that's only because my opponent like abandoned the game and was AFK for the whole thing. So I don't know. It just really wasn't fun. Rogue at least had a good setup with the Asharan Vessel, but other than that, that was really the only card worth fishing for this achievement for. No pun definitely intended. And the Sunken Vessel didn't even progress your playing Sunken cards achievement, if I can find that one. You had to actually play a card from hand, not cast when drawn, the Sunken Vessel. So that was a bit of an anti-synergy that I wasn't fond of. But overall, I feel like the amount of times you actually had to play some of these cards was a little bit rough. I was very happy with Brand Bronzebeard being in the core set for this year, because he made a lot of these grinds significantly better. This Herald's one, which is another one where you have to trigger the battle cry effect 50 times, I would just run duels ones, picking Elise whenever I could because she had access to 2 heralds, the Druid one and the Priest one. And then just throwing Bran in there and a couple spells and just hoping that I hit some of those at the same time. Yeah, Bran helps a lot, but overall, I feel like, especially for some of the more underwhelming cards, it just wasn't super fun to get some of these done. Things like Piranha Swarmers were fun and all because you could stack up crazy amounts of attack and get more done. But the ones where it's just like, trigger the battle cry X number of times, do this X number of times. I guess playing this card 40 times as well, like 40 might not sound like enough, but when almost every card in the mini set required you to play it 40 or 50 times, it kind of added up. I really need to go through and add up the total number of plays required for each one and really see how this compares to previous sets. Because like I said, there was nothing as egregious as the Pet Collector achievement, but all these pennies added up to dollars in the end in this one, if that makes any sense. Additionally, also, worst achievement, I would say this just because it broke at the tail end of the set, with really not much of a window to get it done. Granted, I think the mini set had been out for almost a month at this point, but how is anyone to know the achievement that was working was going to break after another patch? So who knows? Abyssal Curses I eventually came around on, though 450 damage was quite a bit, though as you can tell I played a lot more after that somehow, so whoops. I think it was because of the Gigafin one, which took a while, which, wow, also I have well above the 75 as well. Go fig. But yeah, that's kind of my overall thoughts. I'm hoping in Castle Nathria, like I said, I would love to see another uptick of I'd love to see another uptick of experience available because I'm having a blast hunting these achievements, and I'd like to get something more of a reward for them, even if it's just a couple more experience here and there, because hey, these achievement points, they're, you know, not really good for anything. That all being said, I am going to finish up this Immolate achievement when it does inevitably get fixed. I'll be missing out on 300 experience. It's no big deal. So the last bit of data I want to go over here is how much gold did I get from all this experience? Because yeah, hunting achievements is fun, and you know, this number is fun to show off when it gets bigger, I guess. But at the end of the day, how much value am I getting out of this as a Hearthstone player? Well, I took the total amount of experience that I got for everything I did, everything but the Immolate achievement, and before any XP bonuses for purchasing the premium track, and assuming that all experience is just kind of tacked on at the end at these levels where it's 1500 experience for 50 gold, because it really doesn't matter when I click these. If I click them as I go like I do, or save them for right now, I'd be in the exact same spot either way. So with all that being said, how many levels did I get? Well, at the exact amount of experience, it's just over 13 levels here, and extrapolating out the exact amount of gold per experience, given that 1500 experience equals 50 gold at this point, that's about 663 gold exactly for the amount of experience I got. So once again, like, why do I love doing this? Well, because, you know, it's enough to net me just over 6 packs. That's saving up for the next set, so I can get more achievements done, and it just, you know, it all snowballs. So hey, if you're somehow watching this and you're kind of unsure or not a super big fan of achievement hunting, welcome, by the way. But, you know, give these a shot. They're fun to chase, even though the grinds may be a little soul-crushing here and there. It's worth it in the end, just for the rewards that you can see in your Hearthstone client with your gold count going up and up and up. How many times do I click these and it's just enough to tip me over to the next 50 gold that I get? How many times do I have to stop because the notification is so dang loud in my head when it pops off and says, hey, congrats for your 50 gold? That's why I do it. And it's a lot of fun. So I'm super looking forward to this next set, Murder at Castle Nathria. And I guess this is going to do it for me here. So yeah, that's about all I got to say. So as always, thank you so much for watching. What are you excited for in the upcoming set? Personally, I love the flavor. I love some of the cards they've shown off. It looks like it's going to be another really, really cool set. I'm very, very excited, even if I am a little concerned that they might repeat one of the achievements. What was it from? I think it was from... Here, let's go to Dark Moon Fair real quick. No, it was Barons. Yeah, I'm a little concerned they might kind of do a repeat on this one. There's a bit of an imp summoning kind of thing for the Barons. And it seems like Warlock once again has imps as a theme for here. So I'm really hoping that they do something a little bit different with the achievement. It's not just like, what's better than 2 imps again? So I guess we'll see. We're still, like I said, about 2 weeks away from patch day. So yeah, so I guess I'll see you then. That's about all I gotta say. Thank you so much again for watching. I think I already said that. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. I'm at HeyTallman at both places. I'd love to see you there. And yeah, other than that, see you in the Shadowlands, I guess. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. May the card you need the most never be at the bottom of your deck.